doing well, don't you?
I think you are. No, 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 not because of your 50. I think you're beautiful, sister. Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning,
world.
good morning. Now, this morning, I have this beautiful, beautiful sister of mine. And she has been coming to my place for some time. And next time, we're going to be doing this at her place.
Yes.
Her name is Carol.
Carol.
And
Carol.
my name is Carol. I'm Carol Matebula.
I'm Carol Rose.
Yes. And today we are embarking, as you know, you guys, every day I visit your homes, and it's going to happen until I'm 100 and something years old. Now, today I thought, let me put this beautiful sister of mine that I adore to the call. And we're talking about loving yourself to the call. And yes, and as I have said to you, that because I'm about to reach to 50, I wanna celebrate the journey from now until 100 years old. So I'm looking forward to 50.
Well, first and foremost, I call this a retreat. I'm at Carol's home, but I actually call it the Carol Matabula retreat because whenever I come here, it's about 7 o'clock in the morning in London. If you're somewhere else in the world, it's 7 o'clock in the morning in London. We are very naked in front of you in the sense that
with no makeup.
I have no makeup on. Not that we wear lots of it. We don't wear lots of makeup, but we're presenting ourselves to the world as we are.
Yeah.
And as I said, I come to Carol's home and I call it the retreat because I learned so many secrets about
tiny secrets
about maintaining self as women, you know. So, hi, I'm here. And this is not planned that we're both wearing black. It's black a bit heavy for first thing in the morning, do you think? No.
I think
this is what I have. I just traveled with this today. So, but is it too
know, sometimes you wake
meditative, up, doesn't it?
And sister, black is powerful.
We know black is a colour, it's powerful. Hence the reason why, if you notice, whenever you have military or presidential
coming in the center,
presidential motorcades always have black cars with blacked out windows, right? Something quite royal and powerful about black.
Yeah.
So
and principles.
And principalities.
Kingdom principles.
Oh, that's the name of my clothing line.
Now she's a guru. I just, you know, when I came here in 2013, my wish was to meet one of the most amazing fashion designers because I host events, and I wish that one day I would host a very, very dynamic event with one of the best fashion designers, a black woman. And guess what? When I met her last year in her fashion show, and I thought, there is a sister I have been thinking about since 2013.
Wow.
So she's amazing when it comes to fashion. So as we talk about loving yourself to the core, we're gonna nail it until to the fashion as well. We're gonna talk about food today. We're gonna talk about the tips that she talks about when she comes here. Why does she call this retreat?
Yeah, why do I call it retreat?
Why does she call it?
You asked me a question. Yeah. You said, "What does it mean to love yourself to the core?"
There we go. Yeah,
I'm in my 50s, and I'm actually learning that now. I didn't actually understand what that meant to love yourself to the core.
Yeah.
And I'm learning that it's not an outwardly expression, it's an inwardly expression and discipline. It's an inwardly discipline to love yourself to the core.
Yeah.
And I think it starts with forgiveness of self.
I love that.
When you've racked up as many years as I have, you will have a lot to forgive yourself about. Everybody does. Mm-hmm. And I suppose loving yourself to the core for me, if I can talk about my own journey, starts about self-forgiveness, and self-realization. And I don't mean that in terms of meditation. I mean that in the context of knowing the weaknesses in yourself, identifying those weaknesses, and eliminating the weaknesses that does not serve you or the people around you.
Yeah,
I think that's what
self-love means.
That's what self-love means.
Yeah.
Self-love is not looking in the mirror every day and saying, "I love you, you're beautiful." Because that's an outwardly expression. Yes, you're feeding information to yourself, but I think there's a lot more work to be done in that respect. So that's what I think.
Yeah. I think
This
you
is a
nailed
very
it.
this is a very interactive blog. Carol will just,
It is.
Carol will just leave the
You know
screen.
me, you guys.
The kettle. Did the kettle boil?
It
We're having warm
did.
water.
It
We're
did.
having warm water today.
I say
I'm
the
gonna, and I'm
best
going to
thing-
leave in a minute to make
You
the
can do
warm
that,
water.
sis. You know what I
You just
say
watch
to
my
those who
morning
are watching
routine.
me? I say things has to be organic. I don't want to be, because this is not how do you say it? It's live.
It's not TV.
It's live. It's live.
Yes.
It's live. Sometimes I struggle with my music and I say, guys, I'm so sorry, the music it's taking too long, but I'm coming back.
Am I the one in the light? I'm not feeling this light. Sorry, guys. I'm not. In the morning, I don't do overlight. I only let the natural light come
But for
in.
this one, we need a light so that it can look.
Do you mind if we talk to you in the dark? I'm joking.
So for me, what does loving yourself to the core means? There are 4 things for me that makes me identify Carol Matebula and her spirit. The first one is realizing that I was born, and being born, I came in this world as a very, very beautiful light that owns itself, that I entered the womb of my mom willingly, knowing that those are the people that I have chosen. So the fact of that my little girl chose to be here. So on a daily basis, whatever that I do it for my young woman who entered this world. I always do things realizing that there is my infant self. And when I'm aware of that infant self, so can I be able to love the next. So on a daily, everything that I do, my eyes, I always look at my eyes and say, are you still innocent? Yes. So I always make my eyes as if they just came yesterday. So that's number 1 of me loving myself, loving my infant self. Number 2, I look at all the things that I have went through in life, all the hardship that I have embarked upon. And dear Lord, there were hardships. And in those hardships, I normally, if I struggle on a daily with some dilemmas, I go back to shop when those difficult moments were happening. How did I manage to overcome them so I can be where I am today? So my difficulties are actually my biggest university that always makes me say to myself, what's happening today, Carol, it's nothing compared to what had happened in the past. And you manage to overcome such. Now, what you're dealing with now, it is completely a minor
in comparison to where you've been.
Exactly. And because of that, I celebrate every day as a one who have prevailed. I have prevailed the art of the madness of society, of pain, pressure, and mental disturbance. I don't classify it like that. I classify myself as the one who have understood the earth by mastering my past pain and by borrowing my past pain as my university to teach me for each and every day how to move forward. That's number 2. Number 3, I am sexy. There are moments where I say to myself, you know what? Just be sexy.
I like the fact that you can say that about yourself.
Just be sexy.
I've never said that about myself.
Really? Just be sexy. I love sexiness.
I like the fact that you can own that. One day I'm going to tell myself this about myself. I find that hard to do, I have to say.
Yeah?
For me,
if I don't do it for me, who's going to do it for me? Firstly, I love lingerie. Guess how I know that I'm sexy? Lingerie. I love.
I'm going to go and prepare the hot water while you
Go ahead. So this is me loving my sexiness, and my sexiness, I don't love it for anyone. The moment of me looking at my body, admiring each and every sensation of it, and I love looking at myself in the mirror, where I look at my skin and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm still looking as if I was 21 years old, and I look at my thighs, I look at everything and admire, because I'm like a canvas. I say to myself, the one above has designed me. He bought a canvas of my measurement from the day when I was born. He already knew what measurement was I going to be until the measurement stops. So the fact that I was measured by this so highly spiritual energy, which we call God, I gotta admire those measurements. So that's what I do. I admire my structure. Now, lingerie comes in when you go to buy something that you're going to wear underneath yourself that no one sees but yourself. No one sees your lingerie but yourself. It has to be something that you know as you walk around the street that I'm wearing a present underneath myself that I chose to beautify myself. So this is my sexiness. And I think lots of women don't own up in sexiness because of they think being sexy is being cheap. No, being sexy, it's just you saying, I'm a feminine. And the fact I'm a feminine, I love my femininity.
Do you have line?
No, sis, it's finished. So that's for me. That's number 3, my sexiness, and also clothing. I love.
This is where I come in, right?
Yes, yes. I love dressing up. I love dressing up, and when I dress up for my spirit. I don't dress up to show. I love hiding my skin. I love people wondering. Though underneath there's a beautiful lingerie, but that's only the sexiness, how far the sexiness go. I like to look dignified. I like to look like a goddess. I like to look like and that. So this is me. And then my number 4, responsibility. I love to be responsible for my goals, for my dreams, for my achievement, for what I want to be in this world. I have a plan. Each and every day I wake up in the morning and I say to myself, Carol, this is where you're at and this is where you have to be. And you can't just talk.
Ginger.
You gotta execute. Retreat as usual. You gotta execute. So my dreams are very important to me. My goals are very important to me. My achievements are very important to me. And one thing that I'm going to say, sis, then I'm going to stop about. So those are the 4 things. My goals, even though sometimes I know that when I'm about to start something, it's something new. I have to learn. It has to teach me. I never look at myself as a stupid. No. I never look at myself with the things that I do as, oh, they're going to look at it, what they're going to say, they're going to laugh. I love each and every laughter. The laughter that makes me feel like I'm not good enough, I love that laughter because it's going to rectify me to be good enough afterwards. The laughter that celebrates me, I enjoy that laughter. So I enjoy the 2. I love me when I'm weak, when I don't know, and I celebrate my unknowns, and I celebrate my knowns, my things that I know. So this is what makes me to feel like.
I love what you just said about what defines sexiness, for want of a better term. And you talked about the way you dress. That's what my brand, Kingdom Principles, is about. It redefines what I believe a woman's aura should be, and that is modesty. It's a line that's very modest.
Yeah.
I think as women, we need to move away from thinking, from having, I'm not a feminist anyway, but from thinking that we have to show more to be recognized or to be accepted or to feel sexy. There is a term that we use in fashion that less is more.
Yeah.
And my clothing line, you've seen it. It's very demure. It's very beautiful. It leaves a lot to the imagination, and I think that's how we should be as women. We should leave a lot to the imagination because naturally, men are attracted to the human form naturally, and we have a beautiful form. We need to protect it.
Yeah.
And protect it. Clothing is an outward protection for our inward form.
There we go.
That's what Kingdom Principles defines. And plus, I use what I call honorable fabrics, the most natural fibers in the world, being linen, silk, and wool. So I suppose that I never thought of. I never thought of it. Linen, silk, and wool.
And when you say wool, it sounds like you are designed for it. I would say wool.
All of these natural fibers.
It comes from your belly. It's like,
right.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. And I went to an amazing exhibition at the Victoria and Albert Museum the other day. It was called Fashion from Nature. And there was a lot of information on linen and its properties and its benefits to the body. And we'll talk more about that. This is not the platform for it, but we'll share more about that. And as the line, as I launch the line, there'll be a lot of information as to why we use the fabrics that we do. But just going back to that question you asked and how you've defined what inner beauty is, and you talked about sexiness, and I thought to myself, I've never really thought of myself as sexy. Then again, as you've broken it down,
Yeah.
I guess I am in the way I wear my clothes
Yeah.
and in how I design clothes.
Yeah.
It is very sexy because it doesn't show the outward body. It leaves a lot to the imagination. So
Yeah.
we use fabrics that are naturally very beautiful. Wool falls beautifully. Silk falls beautifully. Linen is very intriguing.
Yeah.
As a fabric.
Of course it is.
Yes,
very
very
sexy as well.
intriguing. And it creases
Also, how
naturally.
it stays on your skin,
and it's very,
how it
it
harasses
has
you.
silk also.
Oh
So
God!
we
yeah.
let the natural fabric speak for itself, and then we make silhouettes that are alluring without being
Silhouettes.
sexy.
Sexy.
The silhouettes, which is, without
Yeah.
they're alluring silhouettes.
Yeah.
We work with the body
Yeah.
in a really scientific way to create shapes that flatter the body but not enhance or sell. So I suppose that sexiness is there because
Definitely.
sexy doesn't necessarily mean overtly.
Yeah.
It can be overtly as well.
Can I break the sexiness in 10 steps? You know, because a woman who might be watching, because of sexy, it is so overrated. Because sexy,
absolutely.
you go on the street and a man
Like,
just say to you, "You look sexy,"
Yeah,
but then it
Do
will
you
make
know
you
me?
feel really, really
dirty. Do you
instead
know
of
me? How do you know
sexy.
How do you know if I look
Do you
sexy?
understand?
What parts of me are you
What,
focusing on?
there we go.
To
That you
define
say
that,
I'm
that's
sexy.
That's why I make the clothes the way I
There
do.
we go.
To kind of deflect that.
Exactly.
Because as women, most women think it's amazing, especially our young women, to think that they've got to be showing like
to be sexy. What does it mean
to be sexy? And when you say I'm sexy as a man and you don't know me,
there we go.
What are you referring to?
Exactly. And also, how does the world take you seriously with your sexiness? Because sexiness could be something that can make you to be a leader of the world because they classify you as the sexiest woman in the world. What does that mean? Or you could be the sexiest woman in the world and be abused because of that sexiness that you are.
Be abusive.
Or be abusive.
So it's defined from an outwardly perspective.
What does that mean?
Allure,
you know, in
let me get something. You carry on.
Yeah. So for me, the sexiness, it means that firstly, have a certain respect for yourself. Have a spirit. I call it my governor. I say on a daily basis, I've got my guidance, my guides around me. The first guide is God. So when I wake up in the morning, I know that God, He sends a light to me. He sends a massive bright light to me so that I can wherever I go, I can share this warmth of comfort, of as you know, when it's winter you look for a heater. I'm like that. God gives me that amount of light around me that heats up the areas where I go. So that's my number one. So whenever I think about sexiness, I think about, by the way, I've got God next to me, and God is a representative of respect, of honor, of wisdom, of the highest of a highly of how can I put that?
Reverence.
So there we go. So my sexiness does not only rely on me, it relies on my God is watching me. My God is embracing my spirit. And then I move down to my ancestors. And I think I've chosen 3 ancestors that I use on a daily, which is the first one, it's my great-grandma, Mehasiani. The second one, it's my great-grandpa, that is Strike. And then the last one, it's Memampeti. He was a sister to my great-grandmom. So these are my guides. Now, these guides of mine, my great-grandmom used to say to me, Carol, don't show your breast. Always make those who are watching wonder what's underneath you. Because when you dress up and everything is hanging, you are not being respected. Your spirit is vulnerable. Your spirit is vulnerable because at that moment, everybody's watching you, but you're not watching yourself. You don't know what they say. So sexiness, it's knowing what to show and when to show it and how to show it. And also choosing clothes that suits your spirit, that makes you look like the one who's a leader. So for me, those are the things that I look at. What does it mean, sexy? So sexy comes in different. Sexy, firstly, it has to have respect. And secondly, sexy has to have, you got to be the teacher. Because when you reach to a certain age, you have girls who are just coming up as teenagers and they're looking for their role models. And what kind of a role model are you? There's lots of rapes that takes place in the world. women abused out there. And when you are just like that, you are actually attracting abuseness more to come your way. So I'm not saying dress up and cover everything. Choose how far. Be minimal.
Be minimal. I like that.
With your sex.
I was trying to Google the definition of sexy. I couldn't find one. Really be honest. I couldn't find a definition of sexy.
Let's try the definition of self-love.
I wanted to just see what the dictionary says.
Yeah.
Self-love. But you can define it more. What does it mean to self-love?
So self-love for me is that you are here as a very special guest in this universe. You have acquired a apartment that has no time limit into the ending of the contract. But that contract is going to end one day. So the fact that you are just a tenant occupying a space for a very short period of time in this world, you need to use it wisely.
I've got a definition here, a very short one. It says, self-love or self-compassion is a way of relating to yourself that does not involve harshly judging or punishing yourself for every mistake you make. Do you think that's a good definition?
I think that's also lovely, because lots of people, we judge ourselves when it comes to our careers. We want to do, and also this is where I'm going to come as well later on, where we're going to talk about career. I think self-love, it means so many things, and also being able to have friends, really, really close friends. I don't have too much close friends. I'm very selective. I'm minimal. I make my friendship very, very accountable, very, very small number. But when I'm there, I love, I nature, I care, I protect. Once you're my friend, and really, really, and I'm very, very particular with this friendship thing, you guys. I think some of you have tried to be my friends, and maybe you think it didn't work. It's not that it didn't, it didn't work.
She's saying sorry.
I'm saying I'm sorry, yes, if you think it didn't work. But for me, friendship, Carol, it's about, I gotta feel like I'm next to myself when I'm next to my friend. Because if I'm next to a friend that I feel like competition
or rivalry, self-doubt, lack of sharing. Friends should have the capacity to share. And you do that. In fact, equally, I don't have a lot of friends. And I never used to have a lot of women friends, but now I do. Not a lot. I never used to have women friends. Now I do, and there's only one or two.
And that's how it should be. That's how it should be.
And we encourage, we rectify.
There we go.
If you've got a friend that cannot tell you where you're going wrong, correct you, reprimand even. Your friend should be able to reprimand you. And my friends, you do. My other beautiful friend does. She reprimands me, and we reprimand each other.
And you know what I like? Whenever you come to my house, you always have a rosary in your hands. You always go to the shop and bring apples, quinoa, and she always bring a healthy food, ginger beers.
Natural ones.
She comes home with rosary, and she's just visiting for one day. And I'll eat it for 2 weeks sometimes. I'm thinking, you go beauty. Isn't that so sweet?
We should talk about the cakes that I used to buy.
I nearly got fed. Oh, she gets the best cakes. And the best cakes. There's the cakes that you got in Whole Food. Please, you gotta write that name, because I went there and tried to look for them. And I'm thinking, I gotta wait for Carol. So that's, and also you see that friendship as well. And friendship, there has to be sexiness in friendship. As you can see, we're very sexy friends.
So we're 8 o'clock in the morning.
This is it, isn't it? Isn't that sexy?
Yes.
That we talk about our cakes. Sexy, it comes in different forms of life. And smelling good, of course. You gotta smell yummy.
With your special oils that my daughter stole.
Oh my God. No, she didn't steal it. Honey, you didn't steal it, you borrow it. And it's good to take from your mom. Cheers to you. I'm gonna give her another one now. You don't need this one. This is hers. Don't take it, sweetie. But enjoy the one. It means that you love my oil. But don't you think I've got amazing oil? And also my oil says a lot about sexiness.
Yes, I think so. I think your oils are very subtle, and they leave. You know the term perfume comes from the Egyptian term, which means in the mist.
In the mist.
So perfumes, all the perfumes that we buy nowadays, to be sexy are they're chemical based. It's basically a combination of chemicals.
Yeah.
But real perfumes, real in the mist, are oil based. And
There
it
we
leaves
go.
a scent in the air.
Exactly.
And that's what's
my
sexy
oils
about
do
your oils, because
that.
they leave a scent in the air.
Did you hear, you guys?
They don't just evaporate, because you notice when you wear perfume,
Evaporate.
if you put it on and it's really powerful,
That's
within an hour or two,
it's gone.
It's gone. But
Because
your
it's
oils,
chemical.
they leave this subtle scent on the body and in the mist.
I love that.
And that's what it means.
So sisters, get in the mist.
That's very alluring.
In the mist. I love that. I love that. I love
even for yourself, when you can smell
another range.
Yeah, even when you can
like Carol Rose.
in the mist. Even when you can smell yourself subtly, it's very nice, isn't it?
Yeah. So
self-love.
Self-love, it starts with you, because lots of people think that they have to be sexy for men. And I say, when you're sexy for men, it becomes over daring for them. Because men, they like something that yes, it's like they need, it's a present. Men, they look at a woman as a present. They have to unravel, they have to open. It has to take them they even have to shake a little bit to open that present, and you can see it in their eyes. But when it's just there, it's overwhelming.
Presented on a plate, I think.
It's not challenging no more. It's like,
they'll take.
And
that's what they do,
they just take. So being queen of your soul.
I like that. Queen of your
queen
aura.
Of your soul. And
queen of your aura. Queen of your there's a word for clothes and I can't remember it. It's too early this morning.
Yeah.
Your attire. Queen of your attire. I like that.
Queen of your attire.
Queen of your attire.
Queen of your attire.
And if you notice that royalty dress in a particular way.
Exactly.
Just Meghan Markle, when she joined the royal family, her clothes started to change. They have a code to dress where the skirts stop, and we've got to apply that to ourselves. This is what royalty does.
You know, the fact that you talk about that woman, what's her name again?
Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle. I thought that she was dressing up beautiful before she came into the royal.
Yeah, she was.
I thought that she was classy, but guess what?
Now
this woman, she's really, really classy. Now I understood what fashion. Now I understood what it means.
Change.
Principle, kingdom principles.
Means, yeah.
Now, and you've got a very powerful word there, sister.
I know. Yes, I know. And only those who know. Like the people step back, and it's deliberate. And it's considered. That name just didn't come from anywhere. It came from somewhere.
Yeah. And also for me, I don't know if everybody does it out there.
Mm-hmm.
For me, clothes tells me a lot about a person.
Mm-hmm.
Colors tells me a lot about where the person is in their mind, in their comfort zone, in terms of how protective they are to themselves, how comfortable they are in their own skin. Their clothes says a lot. Because even at work, if you go for interview, it takes a second for them to identify you if you could qualify for the work or not. And guess what? From your clothes. And from how you carry those clothes. Because sometimes, and this is really, I don't know, tell me if I'm right. Sometimes you wear this beautiful suit and you go and buy something from Louis Vuitton and you wear it. But am I right that sometimes the Louis Vuitton, it wears you more than you wearing a Louis Vuitton?
Clothes with science.
What makes the combination that makes a right marriage between good clothes and good spirit that wears those? Because I think it's also the spirit.
I think it's spirit. And they say there's a song and the lyric, one of the lyrics or one of the line in the song says, I think it's George Michael, sometimes the clothes does not make the man.
Exactly.
It might not be his saying. I know it comes from somewhere.
Yeah.
But that's so important. I teach this to my children, that money does not account for taste. So it's not about what you can afford. It's about your taste, essentially spirit.
Your inner love.
Yeah, that's very important as well.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily saying that you've got to buy expensive clothing.
Yeah.
To be demure. It's about the spirit behind it. And I suppose it's that spirit of accepting self and wanting to own your royalty. And then that's reflected in how you put your clothes together.
There we go. So then it means that actually nothing in this world, having a big car, having expensive clothes, would prevail unless you have reached to the loving core self.
Yeah, absolutely. Loving core self is something loving core self.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think then that defines your choices in the type of clothes that you buy.
Yeah.
And even if it wasn't expensive clothes, it's you know, you put it together in a certain way.
Yeah.
It's natural for me to walk along the street or sit on the tube or wherever, and I dress people.
Yeah.
And and I sometimes I think, how did you get there? Because it's my thing. I'm you know, an architect would probably analyze buildings. You analyze auras, and because you're a natural healer, I tell you this.
Bodies,
and I analyze clothes. Sorry. It's not that I'm materialistic. I analyze clothing.
Sisters, I think we're gonna do something. Carol, please say yes. I'm gonna ask you first, and I have already put a pressure on her for her to say yes. Now, I would like us to have a meeting with sisters where we can bring our clothes and ask questions from the sister here. We will bring 10 items that we think they're the best.
I love that. I love this
I
idea.
think this is a fantastic
Please
idea.
do it. Let's do it. Let us do it.
And then we get champagnes, we get some flowers.
Non-alcoholic ones for me.
We get, you know, I have met a company yesterday that does these beautiful cocktails. We'll also invite them in. We'll have someone at the back of our room making cocktails, and we'll have some nice food. And it's just us talking about loving yourself to the core.
But I like the idea of the 10 pieces, and I can just kind of go through them and
exactly.
say,
and then we wear them.
If you trust me, yay or nay, and how maybe you can use those pieces in a different way.
I would like to do that.
I love this idea.
So this is the idea that's coming your way soon. And the story is about today. The story is about loving yourself to the core, loving yourself to the core. Now, we have spoken about fashion, and of course, you being a guru of it. And I'm looking at you, Carol, and I'm thinking you have reached your 50, and you've got these 2 beautiful kids. But look at your skin. It's like you just, it still looks as if you're 21, dear sweetie.
Oh, that's not me though. That's the Most High.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with moi.
Yeah.
I think radiance comes from when you have that.
Your teeth are sparkling, beauty white, purely white.
But when you have I think we've got to revere. We've got to understand who the Most High. I call him Yahweh. We just have to touch on that.
Yeah.
Yahuwah. Yeah. In our lives, and I think, and my life has not been without immense complications, immense struggle.
As most of us.
Exactly. So I'm not exempt, you're not exempt. Yeah. And I think sometimes the more creative, the more intense the struggle and the battles.
And the better you become.
But what that does is it purifies when you know the higher power. Yeah. I point above, but actually the higher power is within.
Yeah.
I point above because I do that because I know that it's the elevated
air that we breathe. Yeah.
It's an elevated power of the Most High. That's why I point above. Yeah. Not because I believe in a mystical heaven like that. Yeah. But I know that power is the highest. And so when you're in tune with that elevated self, Yahuwah, then I think it brings you peace. The ancients used to live into their 800, 700 years old because they weren't as worn down, as we are, more connected than we were. Yeah. So we can overcome the Western society's definition of age and what the lifestyle brings, I think, by connecting back to the source, Yahuwah, Yahweh.
Beautiful.
And that's helped me in my life.
Lovely. I think I've got the same kind of thing, though I call it different. I call it, it's God, which I connect with him in my own beautiful way. And he resonates this beautiful light upon me as I spoke about it. And of course, my great-grandmom, very, very, very massive guider of my daily routine. And of course, my great-grandmom, my great-grandpa, and my grandmom, the aunt of the sister of my great-grandmom. Now, what makes you, as you are, of course, I love the way you love your kids. You love your kids to the core. And your kids are stunning. Beautiful kids. You can see when I see, especially your daughter, because I haven't met your son. I've seen pictures of your son, which I would like to meet him. He looks like a very respectful boy. respectful young man. He looks humble. He looks
He's very humble.
Yeah.
Um,
When you
they're
look at them, what do
beautiful.
you think? When you look at,
I
because
remember when I became a mother, and my son was born in Atlanta. I lived in America for a good 6 years, and they said to me, and he was sick for the first week, and I spent the first week in hospital with him, and my husband it was traumatized. It was traumatic time because I didn't know what was wrong, and nobody knew what was wrong with him. And I remember they said to me, "Your son," and I was like, "Who are they talking to, me?"
Yeah.
It was that point that I realized I had a son. It was
How
about a
old was
week
he?
old.
Oh.
And they says, "Oh, and they would say, "A mother." I'm thinking, "Oh my gosh, I'm a mother."
Oh.
That's a very unusual
And
time.
that's your first child.
That was my first child. It was strange.
Amazing.
It was something I had to grow into, understanding.
Beautiful.
And what do I think of them when I see them?
Yeah.
I love them in such a way. They're probably not even realizing the love, and they probably think I'm quite harsh because I still instill discipline, and I will rectify.
Yeah.
My son's 25, my daughter's 18. Yeah. So I rectify them, sometimes harshly. And they go, "Gosh, it's on again." And I don't care. Can you hear me? I don't care because because it's the love.
Yeah.
And I think when I look at them, I'm proud. And they say pride is pumped up, it's not of the Most High, but it's proud because they were given to me as a gift. And the nurturing of children doesn't stop. It just takes on a different form as they get older. So I'm now in that stage where I'm nurturing and realizing that, hold on a second, they're now young adults. So my nurturing, my nurturing is different, and it's now become a two-way thing. So I have to listen to their point of view and not try to impose mine. And if I do, I've got to realize that they may not listen because they have their own points of view. But what I do know from being an adult, and obviously we all came from parents, is that in the Caribbean, I'm Jamaican, we said your parents were no drop grown, which means that whatever your parents say, even if you don't take it on, somewhere in the ether, that saying, that principle
has been taken.
And does it not come back to you?
It does.
Do you not hear that little voice my mother used to say? So I know that when I impart instructions to my children and they don't listen, I know that it stays there in their ether.
And one day they'll come back and they'll notice it.
My son went to school in America. He had a scholarship, and he came back to live in the UK in the 90s when he was about 9 months old. But he went back to school to America at 16 and studied there. And I remember they graduated. It was amazing to see these young people graduate from beautiful school in the mountains in America, in New England. And they all wanted to go to a party in Manhattan. And one of the very wealthy children in the school's father had a big penthouse in Manhattan. And all these boys had this plan to go to this party, and all the international parents came over, and we were talking, saying, do we want them to go? And they were all saying, it's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine because this parent, and we knew that it wasn't probably going to be the best party. And my son wanted to go. And I remember saying to him, I'm going to let you go, but because I can't be around, and I can't be around you to know what you're going to get up to. Yeah. What I hope is that I've given you enough survival skills for you to make decisions at a point where you might be in danger, for you to make the right decision. So I've got to let you go because I realize I've got to let you go out into the world, and I won't be there to guide you, but I've given you enough wisdom, I believe.
I love that.
To be able to draw down from our parental ether, the wisdom as and when you need it.
But also,
so I swallowed my and let him go along. With those words of guidance, and that's what we have to do, and that's how I look at my children.
And I love that because also you become a part of the protector of society. Because I say, for a man to grow up and become a predator to the society, the mother didn't hold.
Well, I don't want to judge in that way because children,
I don't know
people come with it, but you've got to,
you gotta pave softness. You gotta pave wisdom, because they say our kids begin, I think about myself is the fact that I don't know my mom and I don't know my father. What paved me to be who I am today? That's why I always go to my great grandma The things that my great grandmom said, even though some of I love what you said, that even if they don't listen, it stays.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
I call it the ether.
Ether. I love
but I call it,
that.
I'm going to call it my parental ether.
I love
you
that.
have this stored up information.
And
that
you know
get
what?
From your family,
Guess why? Why do I say parenting? It's a responsibility, because as you parent, you either going to make someone who's going to hate the world,
or someone who's going to laugh,
or you're going to create someone who's going to laugh. I, on the other hand, my great grandmom brought me to love.
Yes.
Even she said, even if in the midst of pain, Carol, remember you've been sharpened into this beautiful gold of a diamond that the world will receive with open hands. And so can you imagine, from the early age when people were doing bad, I would only ask, why are they doing this? Because my great grandmom told me about these beautiful things that happens when you do good. So today I am, even today, that ether, sometimes there are words that comes that I remember. And remember, my great grandmom died when I was age 14. Look, I'm 47. I'm still coaching her because that was my university.
That's right.
So what I'm saying, I'm not judging, but I'm just saying that being a mother takes massive responsibility, because of you are creating a soul that's going to be a part of the society, of the community.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
and I see it as that. I see it as that, and I think my children,
they are respectful. I love them. I love them. Give me 5. As a mother, I think you are the best.
Oh.
Now we have spoken about motherhood, sexiness.
We're just glided across a whole range of topics.
Definitely. Now another thing that I wanted to talk about, it's this well-being. You say retreat. We're going back to, because we're about to do some balancing exercises. Now we're moving down. What's now to
I'm on my retreat. Carol's home. Yes.
What does that mean in retreat for you? Actually, your tips of your well-being and mindfulness that keeps you flowing.
I liked the shadow self meditation that you did on my birthday, when you took me to the park and you used all the elements that were around us, i.e. the trees, the birds, to tell stories, and things happen that, isn't it?
Even dogs.
I have a fear of dogs.
Yeah, listen
when
to
I
this
was
one,
around 10 years old, I got chased by a dog down my road, and I ran for dear life. I ended up being a sprinter, maybe because of that. But I ran, and every time I see a dog now, a chicken, oh, that's sad. Really?
Oh my God!
The dog chased me, and I ran. Usain Bolt, watch out running. That's how fast I ran. It was watch out Usain Bolt. And ever since then, I've had a fear of dogs. I absolutely, if they come up to me, I freeze or I run. And I think the personality of dogs is, if you move a lot and they sense your fear, they come to you. So we were doing this exercise in the park, shadow self meditation. You taught me how to stare into the sun. I never actually looked into the sun and look at the rays that the sun gives off by creating
it looked as if
binocular with your hands, with the cupping of your hands, and looking through like a spy hole like that. And
create fireworks.
Yeah, and the sun just gave off all this different rays, like fireworks. As I'm talking about it, my hands are getting warm. The energy coming from my hands. And so you showed me all of these techniques, which actually helped to strengthen my eyes, because I can look into the sun now. Before, I would never look directly into the sunlight. Because when I first did it, I was like, whoa, it's so overpowering, but it's a healing. The sun's healing. It provides vitamin D. And for us melanated people living in this diaspora, Western culture, where there's an absence of sunlight, it affects us quite a lot. We don't really realize it affects our moods, our health. So I think if we could try and maintain that, what you showed me is amazing.
Shadow self meditation is one of the most powerful.
And then we work, which is a name you coined. I think you should register all these names. And then we did this exercise where you asked me to use any tree around me to identify me. And I found this big old stumpy
brute of a tree. Actually, there were 2 of them. Yes.
There were 2.
Yeah, let's start with the first one.
And the tree was mighty, and I liked the tree because I thought, it's strong. But then I realized when we did this exercise where you said, right, I want you now to think, push me. You had your hands. like that.
Yeah.
And then I had my hands on it, and you said, I want
And
you
I
just
had
to
to be
use,
an obstacle.
I want you to use your thoughts and just move me. But when I used brute force, you said, no, Carol, you're hurting me. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Because you're using force, which represents anger.
Anger. And
it's not working. And you said, I just want you to flow. And I was able to move you by just my thoughts. Yeah. And at the end of it, I felt a bit sick.
I remember.
Do you remember? I was like, oh God, I feel really ill. Because I was eliminating, letting go,
fear
of stuff.
And dogs came.
And then at the end,
oh my God,
dogs came and they didn't want to leave. They were just.
Do you remember?
Do you remember the owners were like, we don't know what.
There was a moment where you were crying, and this dog came and just sat right next to you.
Yeah, and the owner's like, I don't know why he doesn't want to leave you guys.
Power of nature.
Yeah, and you said, and then once we've gone through that stuff of release, we then said, right, we're going to find another tree in the distance. And then I found this elegant. Do you remember? I was like, that one. The second tree was totally different from the first tree. And when I looked at their configuration, the first tree was slightly deformed
with lots of wounds around it.
But it was strong.
Yeah.
And the second tree was more elegant and poised and refined with very elegant branches. But it was always the middle tree of the group of trees, like the other one. So I don't know what that means because I'm the middle child. Yeah. But anyway, it was really, really powerful, I thought, because I saw a change in my whole demeanor. My skin was different. Do you remember when I got back? You're like, even though we had a couple
of your weight.
Yes.
Even your weight.
My weight
change. So there are lots of things on a daily life. I say to people, you gotta do whatever it takes in your life to try to manage your spirit and connection with God, connection with a high divine
which
energy.
Manifests in nature. He is nature.
You know, so this mindfulness, I do it often, you guys. It's only now that I'm sharing it with you. I do this mindfulness things to keep me going. And there's another thing that we do away from the mindfulness, garlic. People go to medicine to get things to heal themselves. And I say, for me, the most powerful medicine in this universe is garlic. For my teeth, if I have a tooth ache and I feel there's a little bit of a hole there, I take the garlic and it hurts like hell. But guess what? The second day, the pain is gone, never to come back. I use garlic for everything.
You've taught me that. I mean, I like to cook with garlic. I'm not going to say exactly how.
How? Yes.
Amazing.
Yes. Amazing.
Yes.
I'll share with you how.
Yeah, Carol can do that.
Not now, but I'll share with you guys. And I truly believe that every sister should use garlic. If you want to have a sexy flat belly, because no one is designed to have a big belly. A big belly, it's emotion.
It's deformity, it's emotion. Yeah.
Anyone out there who has a big belly today and thinking that you're going to be like that for the rest of your life, dear sweetie, think again. A belly can come back to what you want it to be. A belly is waiting for you as the owner to guide it. The belly is waiting for its governor, which is you. So if you want to have tips on how to really, really get the belly that you look at,
maybe they should contact you personally or something. Maybe
do contact me and let's talk about it.
Because it's a bit personal to talk about what you go through.
Definitely.
And what could be used to cure.
Definitely.
Or to not cure, to
but me and you, we look after the belly on a normal base. What do we see? Amazing. And this is what we do.
And that's where a lot of women store emotion.
And that's the first thing that they hate.
And that's the first thing that I hate. Because if I've got weight around my middle section, and with age, it's a natural thing.
Exactly.
But if anyone touches, it's almost like I clamp up, like, don't touch there.
There we go.
But the techniques that you showed me, amazing.
So that's it. Self-love.
All the remedies then that you showed.
And now we're using for the face. Oh my God. It's something you have in your kitchen, especially the Africans, the Caribbeans. You've got it in your kitchen. You use it every day. Palm oil. Best for your elasticity to make your skin look healthier, radiant, and fresh. Get yourself, what do you call that? The oil, palm oil. But it also depends how you use it, because if you use it too much, it can break out acne. because
Oh,
of
because
it's
it's
very
so clogged, oily.
Yes. So
So
how
then-
you use it and how you rub it in, it's very important.
So I was like, Carol, I'm going to have a facelift. And she's like, no, don't be silly. I'm joking.
No,
I'm joking.
no.
No, but I suppose I understand when you say how to use it because it's so oily. So if you use that like once a week,
Perfect.
it's perfect because
Perfect.
it lubricates your skin.
There we go. There we go.
Wow.
And after you have done that, then you go, you have a steam, facial steam.
Yeah.
Then
So
you
it just
open.
open the pores.
Oh my God. And it drops
absorbs.
out. And then after that,
Wow.
you go back to your normal routine. I don't know if you guys, you use your normal routine. I say every woman should cleanse their skin daily. Every woman should tone their skin daily. Every woman every day should moisturize their skin. And in the night, you should give your skin a treatment before you go to sleep.
Oh.
Because our skin, when we're sleeping, it works a lot, it breathes a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So our pores and it struggles. So before you go to sleep, make sure that you really look after your skin. So that's what I do. And this is where I'm talking about self-love and self-sexiness.
Mm.
Now, after the tips that we have given you, food, it's very vital as well. What you eat, what you eat.
It is about what you eat. You are what you eat. You are what you eat. It is about what you eat. Let's not get it twisted. There's an outwardly maintenance, but primarily it's inward maintenance.
Yeah.
Ultimately, what you eat is where the difference lies in your mood, in your self-love,
in the respect for others,
and the respect you have for others, because food can really temper with your emotions. I know that. Sugar, goodness, I love chocolate. I love chocolate. I like cakes.
But you don't eat it all the time.
But I don't need it. But I don't eat it all the time.
Yeah.
I've learned to understand that it's not necessarily the best thing for me. And I never eat, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and all that stuff. We got to give that up.
Definitely.
Do not give it to your children.
Definitely.
Hello.
Oh my God, they take the kids there for birthdays and all that. And I'm thinking, sisters, what's going on?
What's going on here? Come on. Meat, personally, I am a woman that tries my hardest to live via scripture, especially the Old Testament, in terms of the Levitical lifestyle and the dietary laws. It is forbidden for us to eat the blood of the animal, because in the blood of a living creature is the life germ. And when you're eating the blood,
no, this I'm going to listen very clear.
You are eating the very DNA, the very essence of that creature or that thing. So whilst I used to eat meat, I don't eat pork because it's very poisonous to me. And when I found out what pork was like 30 years ago, I stopped. And I'm also very particular about product, because pork tends to creep into many, many household products and household condiments that we use, i.e. toothpaste. Can you imagine the amount of pork? I had a big list of E numbers, because what they do, they give it chemical attributes. So it becomes an E number. And I had a reference to what those E numbers were, what they related back to.
I don't know that. You should teach me that. This is education.
So they put it in your toothpaste. Can you imagine? Yes. And imagine toothpaste, because toothpaste is something that goes into the nerve system.
Within a blink of an eye.
Yeah. When I take
it's like essential oils.
Essential oils, I put it under my tongue, because that's the quickest way to get it to absorb into your bloodstream.
Yeah.
So things like pork, no way. Meat, bye-bye. Some fishes we should eat. There's a law on how we should eat. We can find that in Leviticus, in the book of Leviticus.
Yeah.
We must.
I'm so sorry to cut you. I love that, because of you're not going to vegan, which I'm gonna.
Oh, I hate the vegan.
Which I'm gonna go there.
Guys,
you're talking about the meat, but you're talking about it in such a profound way.
This is a spiritual way.
Yeah.
So when we had,
meaning that vegan is bad, you guys. No,
I'm not saying vegan is bad, but it's an industry. Veganism is an industry, and I do not.
It's kind of a new religion.
Yeah, it's exactly, and I'm not about that. So there are rules and laws of how we should eat, and it's been given to us by the Most High, and we should try our best to go and study this and live by it, because that really does help to maintain what you call our governor, maintain that link, that connection with. We came to this universe, but we had a designer who gave us an instruction book, an instruction book on how we can survive and how to maintain this temple. This is our temple. It's not a building. This is the temple. And there was a list of instructions on how to maintain this temple.
Yeah.
and I think we should try and seek that information and go
I
back
like
to
that. Sometimes, I find that at this present moment, there's so much confusion into the dietary world.
No, because of money,
so
because of
much.
money,
There's
because
so
of money. It's all about money. It's all an
There's so
industry.
much different milks, milk from the cow, milk from the milk. I get confused. And so what I tend to do, I tend to choose what I've chosen and say, this is it. I stick with it. Now, I've got an element of vegan, which there's lots of things that I like in it.
Mhm.
And I choose what I choose, and I bring it into my fridge. And I eat lots of veggies. I use less oil into my food, cook. So I think food at this present moment, I'm not really a guru on it. I'm not gonna say much because I'm still confused myself on what's going on with the dietary world.
So let me go back, because I made a statement about meat very quickly, that it's not that we didn't eat meat. We had a way of slaughtering the animal, I hate the term, so that the blood of the animal was drained completely before the meat was consumed. And
in
also,
South Africa, they do that.
They still do it in the Caribbean.
They put something very sharp
into
here,
the jugular,
and then they use
drain out the animal.
Oh, so sorry, cow.
Yeah, so sorry, anyone that's for animal rights, but the animal was never meant to see the fear of its passing, because the fear hormone would secrete certain types of poison into the bloodstream. The way they treat animals now and the way animals are slaughtered for consumption is totally anti-Leviticus, the laws of Leviticus, which was given to us. And so if you are to eat meat, if you're in an area where you can actually
get halal, is it halal the same thing?
Halal is supposedly the same thing, but the closest to what we how we live was kosher, the way the kosher butchers operate. But I would rather, until we were able to do this for ourselves, I'd rather not eat any meat at all.
I think the best thing, stay away from meat as much as you can. Eat lots of greenery, and please do not freeze them. Do not put them into a freezer.
When the meat comes, it's already old, and they dress the meat. They put all types of steroids and chemicals in the meat to make it look more presentable on the shelf. It's all about
there's a coloring kind of a thing going on there.
And we are consuming poison. I'm sorry,
there
it's
we
the
go.
Truth. I can talk about this. I do colonics and have done for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
The first time I did colon cleansing, you can see the extracts going through a tube. And meat takes about 5 to 10 years to actually break through the system.
No,
and I can see old remnants and I'd stopped eating meat 10 years before that. And when I was getting colon cleansed, I can see old bits of meat particles coming through.
Of you, no?
Sorry?
No.
No, it's not, because you can't. Colon is not stripping the body.
Of course.
You can identify the meat particles coming through.
Scary.
And what this does, it sits in the body and it rots.
Yeah. And
then the blood, which is, we don't understand the chemical makeup, or not the chemical, the biological power of blood. We eat that stuff every single day, or people. It's really deep. I'm not going to go on because I don't want to scare anyone.
Now, diet, it's important.
Diet
is very important, especially for we who are reaching 40, 50, something, because of our hormones are playing a yo-yo with us.
Mm-hmm.
We are surrounded by hormones. Today you are happy. Tomorrow you are dripping with tears. Tomorrow you're feeling that you are running the world. Tomorrow you're thinking, damn, I'm the worst in the world.
But this bloating,
isn't it so?
That we get in our
middle age,
and a lot of it is because of stale energy, but also stale food.
And also
that's releasing gases in the body.
There we go. So being self-love, it's you looking at all angles of your life and making sure that you are on point with each and every part of your being that makes you to be you. Now, one last thing that we're going to talk about, and then we'll do a little bit of balance. So sorry, the video, it's long, but there's lots of goody stuff around it, you guys. One thing that I want to talk about, it's love. Love with the brothers.
Why'd you have to go there? With the brothers, we love our brothers.
Yeah. what does being in love means? You know, especially, you know, because of we are kind of
We get all
15
girly
years
now.
old. We have a love when we're 15 years old. We have love when we're 24.
Do you know what?
But
it
does it
evolved.
go with age
I
or it
remember my first
remains?
love.
Yeah. What
It was
does
a
it
boy
mean
at
to be
school.
in love? Yeah.
And in fact, it was two. Look at me, greedy.
Two guys.
No,
I
they were
think
at
you
different
remember.
points.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell them who they
Of
are.
course, they don't know.
No,
who they are.
they
They
wouldn't. The first one, I couldn't. I was like 11, and he was maybe in the sixth. No, he was maybe 3 years above me, so he's much older. And he would get the bus every morning with me, and I would be so shy. I'd sit down, I couldn't look. And then my friend told him one day, and I ran across the playground and ran out.
Yeah.
I couldn't. And so the second one became my very, 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 very good friend.
Yeah.
And he was like, in fact, he was my first love. He was the most elegant, demure man in our school. And he was just amazing. He's neat, was always beautifully dressed to this day. And he became my best ever friend.
Yeah.
He was my first love.
Yeah. And what does it?
And it was just this admiration.
Yeah.
But the fact that after he left school, because I was younger as well.
Yeah.
That's when we became really good friends.
Yeah.
And he was like my brother. Oh my gosh, he's
Yeah.
so amazing. So I looked in terms of men qualities. You look for your dad, but also with him, it was like I want to find him like the person he is.
Yeah.
I've been divorced. I am divorced. So he is like the standard because he's such a gentleman and just professional in everything that he does. Yeah, very gentle.
I think for me, love. Oh dear, love. There's nothing. I think there's nothing in this world.
But I get love from my children.
Love.
The love between. You're talking
That's
about the love
different.
between a man and a woman.
I'm talking
aren't
about
you?
I'm talking about that because we talk about loving self to the core.
So we've gone
This
through
is
that.
about-
So the next element of love is to find your,
How do you know?
find your balance, your twin flame.
No, there we go. There
That's
we
another
go.
one.
Now, how do you know when you have met the twin flame? How do you know? Because I think we all struggle, and I don't want to put, because of we women, we have created this ideology man in our brains. He has to be like that. He has to have that career.
I don't
He has
think
to.
there's anything wrong with painting the picture.
But no. But before we paint the picture, there's also the man's behavioral. When a man approaches you, because of when we meet a man, we don't know what they do. What is their career? What kind of? No. Before you ask, you have already got interests. So
Yes.
the first thing when I meet a man, I do not think he's a lawyer, he's a doctor, he's a dada. I'm seeing just a man.
The man. Well, okay, I like that because even though career is not the biggest de facto in my like choices.
Yeah.
But I think it's very, very important to me, and I can normally tell by how they dress. Because obviously, I'm a clothes scientist. I can tell
How they dress or how they're dressed and themselves married together.
Yes. Yeah.
For me, I think
shoes
that
is
well.
a very important part.
Definitely.
Sorry, it sounds fickle, but it is.
That's
very,
very,
very
true.
important.
So sorry, you guys out there. Clothing, of course,
Yeah,
they play.
totally
Me too.
But it's very,
They
very
have to be
important.
very, very classy and very clean.
In
and
whatever
very
that looks
special.
like, because modern man, the men of today, fashion evolves, doesn't it? And we live in the fashion metropolis. We live in the UK, London.
I have
And
a
this
problem
is
with the brothers who put their pants down
Well,
here.
they're young, but I get
Oh
it.
no, you get men who do that who are 50 something.
Now,
Oh my
being
God,
in
that
fashion, I
scares
used to
me.
say to my son, I used to do a uniform check. When his friends came knocking on the door for him for school, I was like, right, all of you get in here. And I'd get them to flick their blazers up. And I'd send them in line and say, pull that trousers up, put your belt on. And I allowed them some tolerance of sagging. Because I said, I get your youth. And I used to have the lineup. Your mom's coming again. Like, I used to flick. There's a line up in my living room, and I say, flick your blazers up. Let me see how much you're sagging. And because I'm fashion, I gave them an element of sagging. And in the school had a thing. The tie they had to see X amount of stripes on the tie, and I would do the tie check. So I understand the sagging. I don't know. Come in, the lot of you. Yeah.
Lift up your blazers.
Turn around, lift up your blazers.
Oh, that's a good one.
Call your mom.
That's a good one.
All the races of children in the neighborhood coming to knock for my son in here.
For
Guys.
me, sis, to make it shorter, is that for me, what attracts me to a man It's how a man looks at me. I do not want a man who looks at me and think you're sexy. Like they look at me and they make me naked from the moment they see me. That it takes me a second
But
to
you
tell.
can work that out.
Huh?
You work that out. Very
Within
well.
a second. It takes me a second, and I'm thinking, you are out. For me, I need a man who's gonna love my brilliant mind.
Yes.
A man who's going to make love with my mind.
That's what is essential. But Carol, guess what? And
he's not been touching. He's not
yes,
touching. He's not.
Around men, my armor
is
so tight.
Yeah.
Right. That it's actually quite funny. When I go to business meetings, and I've traveled the world in fashion, and I've had to be.
And you're going to America this Friday.
Yes, I am.
Okay, you put me in your pocket.
Yes, I've had to travel with men of different cultures and stuff where they don't speak English, and we have to have an interpreter. And my armor, meaning my clothing, becomes uniform. It becomes military, right? Yeah. This whole thing that women should use their sexuality to impress men in business. It doesn't work.
But what about Hollywood?
You impress them with your mind.
You know what I find? I'm so sorry to cut you. I find that Hollywood has brought this new cultural of you see them wearing their clothes and you can see the breast, and then they only put little bit of
Hollywood.
glitter.
You know what Hollywood is? You know what Hollywood is? It's the Merlin. If you think of Merlin the magician, he always had a stick, which they used to cast spells. Hence the term Hollywood. It's casting a spell on your mind in terms of culture and being. So that's not my point of reference. Hollywood is not my point of reference. And I love film, but I love film for what they are. It doesn't impact my life.
Yeah.
So what were we talking about? Men. So I think for me, what is love with a man?
Yeah.
I think first, obviously, love occurs within self.
Yeah.
And as women, we've got to attempt to attract the man via our minds, because that's everlasting. Beauty is fleeting, right? The physical attraction is fleeting, and what remains is that person's essence.
Definitely.
And that's what you have to connect with.
Definitely.
It's essentially the essence of that individual.
Definitely. And being a woman.
That's what I think we should pursue.
Definitely. And I also think that women, they have to be, we have to rectify the bad behavior of men by rectifying our own bad behavior. Because a man can only be bad because of the woman next to him, does not have a confidence or self-love for himself. And the poor brothers, then they do, because of, I have seen brothers who came to me in terms of wanting to do this chippy thing, and the moment they see, it takes them a second to understand, and they rectify, and you see them having this massive respect for me. I see that, sister, over and over and over again. So I say, love does not only lies with your breast being sticking out. Definitely not. Let's look after them.
Your cleavage. Protect that breast for your children. Man. And the man that you choose to see.
Exactly. And I'm not saying dress up as I did today, because this is for meditation. You can show a little bit. It's okay. You can show a little bit. But let's make the brothers let's show the brothers how much we respect ourselves.
Your intellect.
Now, thank you so much. The video is a little bit longer, and we have covered everything about self-love.
I haven't done one in a while.
And we haven't, isn't it? And also remember your home. Today, my sister came, my living room is full of stuff, because I thought, I'm going to get rid of stuff. I'm going to make my home very, very beautiful. Put flowers and make it smell. And you know what I do as well? Please, sisters, do that. I hate to go into the bedroom of someone and they give me their bed to sleep on and their bed smells like hell. My bed smells beautiful. I put perfume on my bed. As I put perfume on my clothes, I make sure
the right oils.
Even your pillows.
Yeah, put oils.
How do you smell when you enter my bed?
I was like, where's this coming from? I was smelling all the pillows.
There we go. There we go. So self-love comes with little details. Now we're gonna do something, and thank you so much. This is for love self, for them sisters. And as you see today, it's me and Carol here. And next time, if you want to join us and you want to talk about something that you wish that you could talk to sexy sisters, sisters with a touch of wisdom, sisters with a touch of class, think of us, because I think we definitely And I just love how you're proud of yourself, Carol.
Oh,
Love that.
yes.
You're
Thank
very,
you.
very proud of yourself. You
Thank
know who you are when you speak in love, and when you have a brother that you adore, you really adore, and the brother who's adored out there. How lucky are you to be adored? I'll leave it right there. And we're gonna.
She makes me laugh. She makes me go early.
And now we're gonna do a little bit of balance, as I normally do it with you guys. I've been struggling with
I'm
it.
gonna watch. 'Cause I don't know.
Normally I don't wobble so much, but this few days I've been wobbling. So I hope it's gonna take 10 minutes because of the video. It's already very long, so we'll make it 1 hour, 10 minutes. Thank you so much for watching. So we are going.
I'm watching. I'm just gonna sit to the side and watch what you're doing.
Okay,
I've never seen this.
That's okay. So. You have watched me over the days since I started this, and my left side has given me massive problems, which I don't know where this come from. But I realized that I was looking at myself the other day, and I realized that I've got this pain right here on my left, and I think this wobbly comes from there. So today, let's start with this meditation of ours and see how far do we go. So, as I have promised, I'll always do this sense of me celebrating my core self with you. So, take a moment wherever you are, after you have listened to the video, breathe in gently and say thank you to the gods for them giving you another day. Because another day, that's something that some people don't reach to. And you have reached it and a chance to touch it. So today, breathe in wherever you are, ever embracing this liquid light that is never there for us to show, so that we breathe and live and celebrate. Breathe in gently. As you breathe in, think of the desires that you want to accomplish today. Think about what you want to touch, what you want to change. What it is that you want to accomplish in 2019. As it is the beginning of the year, we are in January and it's about to end. We are about to be transported into the second month of 2019. Wish whatever that you want to achieve in January, February, March, or break it into 3 quarters. What it is that you want to see you accomplishing in March. So take a moment and lift up your feet gently, and close your eyes. And wobbly it will get, that's okay. Let it wobble. This is you strengthening your skeleton so that it can be able to defend you in this ever wobbly world of ours. Breathe in, celebrate, balance. It all begins with balance. Balance, balance, balance. Balance skeleton, balance mind, balance body, balance everything. Celebrate, celebrate. There I come to the left. Let's see. Voila, still a little bit of a problem. I shall look at that, you guys. But it's okay. I'll do it every day with you until it gets to its stability. Breathing gently and direct your skeleton into balanceness. Direct your skeleton into balanceness. Ever so goddess, like a princess, like a queen. Celebrate the arm of your body. Come sis, let's do this.
But I'm not dressed for it.
So it's about balance. Lift up your feet gently and close your eyes. And hold them there gently.
amazing. Closing your eyes.
And you become afraid. It's like your body's shaking because of we are taught that the vision only comes when we open. And think of the people who are blind.
The moment you close your eyes,
Yeah,
that's
then
when
you
you start
see.
to lose it all.
Exactly.
Oh, that's it. I enjoy that for one moment. Wow.
I can do this so well.
I didn't realize that closing your eyes is the minute I closed my eyes, my balance was lost. I hadn't moved the position, I just closed my eyes. That's amazing. What do you think of that?
Balance. It's all in the balance. When you close your eyes, you are with your subconsciousness. You're feeling how unfriendly you are to your subconsciousness. Because of everything that we do it with our eyes also. So we're only realizing on the outer, never realizing that actually there's an inner that also that skeleton needs you to focus on it. That's why I say to people, for you to be able to make your dreams, whatever that you want, you have to make the two engaged. So this is really powerful. Normally I do it so well, but the beginning this year it has been this struggleness, and I'm thinking, what's going on, Carol? What's going on? There's a little bit of unsensitivity, something that it's not settled.
That's odd when you close your eyes.
Exactly.
Oh wow, I'm gonna try this. We're running your 116.
Yeah, then we go. We're gonna finish it at 120. Let's go. Hold my hand. And close your eyes. Just close it gently. And then kind of let your shoulders. And then close your eyes. And relax. And relax. And close your eyes.
It's really hard in my trousers.
Lift it up. Close your eyes. That's it. Wow. And your left eyes being left. What's going on?
So I don't know, I'm standing on my left leg. So my right leg.
Look, when I talk to you, what happens?
Yeah, we'll talk to
It's like I'm not being looked after. It's incredible. Look how beautiful this is. Just by touching it. Do you see that?
So is it the leg? Is it the balance of the leg will lift it?
Yes, and the weakness will come from this area. If your waistline, it's not feeling well, your belly, or you've got some kind of emotions there that you're not aware of, you'll get to this wobbleness.
If you close your eyes.
If you close your eyes.
I'm so not comfortable with that. I've done that before.
Now let's do it without our hands closed. Let's
I
swim.
used to be a dancer, so I can do this. I used to be a gymnast. So. Whoa.
This is fantastic.
I like this.
This is fantastic for your belly. You know what I see? When I started yesterday, my belly was a little bit bigger. You see that? My whole job is to remove this. You see that?
Yes.
That it shouldn't lie on
your
hands like that. So with this, within a week, I'll wear these hands will be completely gone. With just that. With just that. Because when you do that, look what happens.
I like this. This kind of movement through the air.
Exactly. Then go in.
So hold that. You need to hold that belly.
You have to
Focus
hold
right
it.
in here.
Exactly.
And in fact, you should talk that. You talk
Exactly.
the belly as you're doing this. Hold your abdomen in.
breathe in and hold,
Hold
as
it
if
in.
you're pulling your belly
Bring it
button
back to the in, and that becomes resistance. Working with your own body is resistance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a wrap. Today it was about us
I can
talking
do that
about
bit.
love. Yeah, that's
It's
a wrap. Today it was about us talking about self-love, talking about love, talking about food, talking about our kids, talking about our fashion as the sister, she's a fashion guru, and me, of course, talking about well-being. Nothing will make you beautiful in this world than you being peaceful, loving yourself, and be the change in the world that will judging, bring sense of peace.
Be the change you want to see.
Be the change you want to see. And this is Carol Matebula. And Carol's saying ciao and enjoy your day.
Shalom.
God bless. We love you. Bye. That was lovely, isn't it? It was indeed. Bye bye, guys. That was beautiful.
Oh
no?
my gosh.
That was
Let's see it.
lovely.